Hey vinyl community, this is Chris. I'm here to do another entry in the Acid Archives Diaries thread. So this was a thread started by Seekingathread, Dom, and I did an earlier one. He didn't like it too much because it was referenced too many albums that were in the Acid Archives book, but this one will focus on a single album, so maybe it'll be okay. In the background you hear playing Red Crayola live 1967. I played some Red Crayola in my first video from the Parable of an Arable Land, and I got a comment from Michael Valentini that he would like to hear, or he knew that Red Crayola had played with John Fahey once, or John Fahey had played with them, so that was on this live album. It's a 2-disc set from Drag City, I think. So this is the track for Michael Valentini, Red Crayola with John Fahey. I think it's they're in Berkeley, but I'll put the correct information somewhere when the video is posted. But the reason for this video is to talk about Jan and Lorraine. That's going to be my entry for this version, part of the Acid Archives Diaries. Jan and Lorraine, a female sort of folk psych duo from 1969. They're on the ABC label. So we'll play part of that. But gatefold, there's a not for sale sticker on here, even though this is not a promo. So they were a sort of folk psych duo from 1969. They wrote a majority of the tracks on here. There's, I think it's 10 tracks on the album. They wrote 7. Not as a duo though, they individually, each one would write it and then they would perform. Then they have 2 tracks by Richard Keelan, I think's his name. He later went on to he was in the Spikedrivers. He later went on to Perth County Conspiracy, which I meant to pull that album and show it, but and his wife at the time, Connie Keelan, did the artwork for this cover. So there was some connection there, at least at that point. So guitars, kazoos, tamboras, tablas, percussion, bass, various instrumentation on here. So I'm going to switch over to the album. So this is Break Out the Wine, by Richard Keelan, the aforementioned Perth County Conspiracy member. The record's a little bit rough, as you can hear the snap, crackle, and pop. It's a man. I may have put it on the wrong side, so hold on. I was hoping that was the noisier side, but this one sounds comparable. So it may be indicative of something, but the two tracks that I'm going to sample are, neither one of them are Jan or Lorraine. So Jan Hendon and Lorraine Lefevre make up this duo. Acid Archives had a very positive review of this album. Not just those tracks, but pretty much the whole thing. Jan Hendon, I read, also has a unreleased album that's they reference in the Acid Archives, which sounds really intriguing, but I couldn't find any reference about it or any songs from it. All right, now I'm going to switch to the title track, Gypsy People, which was written by Davy Graham and Mike Chapman, two United Kingdom guitarists and composers. So sort of a Middle Eastern feel. So Acid Archives, they say that this is about as good a 60s femme psych album as you'll find, wholly original, and unlike a lot of other singer-songwriter types of the era. The two women had considerable creative input, as I mentioned, 7 of the 10 tracks by them. The music's a reasonable cross between British folk rock and American psychedelia, with a strong Indian influence, so that's sort of this track. It has two off-the-wall experiments, they say, that may not work that well, but it maintains its focus. And even the tracks that have like a string instrumentation or orchestration with them, they fit right in and sort of give it the same vibe as the Eastern Indian stuff. So they say the women's voices are kind of thin individually, but together it's stronger than the sum. So they don't ever sound like they're taking the easy way out. They go for it. So again, pretty unusually positive review in the book. Kind of a fancy font there, but this is the Gypsy People title track. You know that you found your company. You know that you found your company. So any other references or contributions I was going to make on this video, I've forgotten, so I'm just going to end it here. Thanks everybody for watching.